Hey guys, I wanted to make an updated Fire NFX V2 um, demonstration. I'm not going to demo everything on it. I'm going to demonstrate the first mode of it, which I think is where most of the power of it is. And this is an alternative to the default script that comes with the AKAI Fire NFL Studio. This script works best if you have a MIDI keyboard already, and it works as a like a companion to your MIDI keyboard. You know, you could probably set this somewhere at arm's reach, maybe above your keyboard or next to your keyboard, and use it that way. This mode or this script does not implement any of the step sequencer. Instead, what I've done is I've used those buttons there to help me navigate and do things basically at a push of a pad, push of a button, and I'm going to show you those things. With respect to the knobs, the buttons on the top, those are all pretty much as labeled. And the same goes for the ones on the bottom. The difference is your step sequence button, which is right there, is not step sequencer. I put a little label above it, which I call it pattern mode, but it's more than just pattern mode. The way the layout works depends on which window you're in. Okay, so for example, if I click on the mixer, the layout, this part, the work area, okay, these first three banks, that's the work area. This last bank over here, right here, that I'm kind of showing you right on the end there, that's your macro grid. We'll talk about that more in a second. For now, just concentrate on the first three, which are your work areas. So if I'm on the mixer, I get one type of work area. If I'm on the playlist, I get a different type of work area. And if I'm on the channel rack, I get yet another type of work area. These buttons here, these three blue buttons, are quick buttons to go from channel rack, playlist, mixer. It's activating those windows. I know that in FL Studio it's hard to see the active windows sometimes, but that's what's going on. This first button will do a close all windows and then reopen the window, the three windows for you. So if you have a bunch of plug-in windows or automation windows or something and you just want to quickly reset, you can hit this button that's not lit up and it will close everything and reopen it. And these are important because these are used to allow you to switch windows without using your mouse. A lot of this is to allow you to do things without using your mouse. And I know you can use your keyboard. There are keyboard shortcuts for these things as well. But someone like me, I might push my keyboards on a thing that goes under my desk and just get it out of my way. And also I have a keyboard where all the function keys by default are tied to like other functions like print screen or my media controls, and I have to hold two keys. If I wanted to do, let's say, F5, I have to hold a function key and then hit F5, and then it'll work because that's the way my typing keyboard is set up. So using these, I can just quickly navigate the windows as needed. But the power really comes from the work area, which is here. When I'm in my channel mode, my channel window or channel rack mode, what happens to the work area is these two rows become patterns, and these two rows become channels. And the way you can see that is I'm going to show you here with the mouse. These are my patterns, right? So it's blue, blue, green, purple, yellow, red. And if you look here, blue, blue, green, purple, yellow, red. My selected pattern will be highlighted with the white button underneath. So in this case, the purple channel has the highlight, so it's selected. I can quickly go to any of my patterns. So I want to go to this green pattern, which is my guitar mute pattern. I can click it, and now you see it's selected, and my channel rack changed appropriately to the correct pattern. If a pattern has linked channels like these do, for example, if I go to the red pattern, which is my lead, it will also switch the channels down here. If you look at my channel colors, blue, 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 well, light blue, blue, green, purple, yellow, and red, that corresponds to these guys: blue, blue, light blue, blue, green, purple, yellow, and red. So that's all my channels here. So I can also navigate not only the patterns but the channels themselves by clicking on them, and you can see it's moving through the selected channel for me. And basically from here you can also do things like whatever channel is selected, your volume and pan and these other buttons will work with that. So I have the red channel selected, and just look here at my my controls here for the channel, and you'll see as I move these guys, I can control it from here. I can also mute that channel by selecting the button below the channel, which will mute it. I can also bring up the plugin for that channel and close it. If I hold Alt in that, oops, not wrong key, sorry, I forgot, it's Shift in that, it'll bring up the piano roll for that channel and close it. The other thing is if you double click it, you can see it zooms in. If I double click it again, it zooms out. On the piano roll, you can also navigate around using the select, hold Shift, hold Alt. If it was off the screen, you could scroll to it, but you can see I can bring things into view easily that way. And I can close the piano roll. These two buttons here will actually bring up the plugin and the piano roll for you, and close them, of course. And that's really how you would quickly navigate your patterns and your channels from this AKAI Fire within, a click of a button, click of a pad. While I'm here, I just want to show you what some of these other buttons do. So I already demonstrated that depending on your highlighted channel, let's say I go to this one, the purple one, it's my 808. You know what, let's just bring up the pattern as well. And you see this change to purple. This will always, these two will reflect the current channel. So I can bring up the 808, close it, bring up the 808 piano roll, close it. Okay, quickly and easily. These next two work in an up-down pair as well, and this will change my snap. So if you look up here where I'm moving the mouse, where a little magnet snap indicator is, if I press up or down here, it scrolls through my various snap settings. So I can set my snap. I also see on this display what it's telling me, like line, cell, etc. Right? These next two and this grid mode are not used. Okay? So they're blanked out. These next two affect the preset. So let me bring that up. And as I press up, you'll see it goes up a preset. And as I press down, you'll see it goes down a preset. So you can not only open the plugin, but you can navigate your presets here as well. There are other grids you can use. If I hit the right grid, it goes to a different layout. These two rows different. These two top rows are the same. These two rows are different. Let me go back. Actually, I didn't need to go back, but let me go here just to show you what these buttons do. These four. Let's say you're on the channel and you wanted to, this is your undo button, this is your copy button, this is your cut button, and this is your paste button. So if I wanted to cut the data that's current, you see there's piano roll data there. If I hit the cut button, let me go make sure it's active. Oh, you know what? You have to make sure FL Studio is active. I have OBS also running in the background. But let's say you go to, let's go back to the 808s. I'm going to hit the cut button, and you can see it cut the data for those notes. I can hit paste and paste them back. I can move to a different channel, paste them in there if I wanted to. I can even hit undo and undo what I just did. And undo will keep undoing as you work. Additionally, you can clone a pattern. So let's say I wanted to clone my 808 pattern. If I hold Alt and hit that pattern, it now makes a clone for me and puts me into the clone. And now maybe I want to cut that data and put in something new in the piano roll. Okay. Now I'm just going to undo. So it's going to undo everything. Now I've undone it all the way back to before I cloned it. So now it's back to where it was. I'm going to hit the grid button again just to go to the next mode to demonstrate. These two rows did not change. They function the same. If a window is open, like the channel rack, and you hit it again, it will close it. So you can actually, I brought up the menu inadvertently, but I'm going to show you that. You can actually open and close windows as well. With respect to this mode, if you look at these bottom two rows, the blue button will bring up a menu. So you can see it brought up the main menu. Red button means escape, so I can close the menu. You'll notice these white buttons here look very much like your arrow keys, up, down, left, and right. So if I did have the menu open, I could navigate within the menu. And if I found the option that I wanted, let's say save as a new version, I can hit the green button, which is enter. And now I've just saved it as a new version. But to show you, you can actually go through and navigate all of the menus that you need to, if you needed to. Maybe you don't, that's fine. Hit escape. If I hit the grid again, the grid goes away. Now, if I had enough tracks to fill in these four, enough either patterns or enough channels, they would fill in and use these just like they do in the work area. So in other words, your work area becomes from 3 banks to 4 banks and gets the grid, the macro grid, out of your way. And you just hit the button up here to bring it back. But let's say I hit it right even one more time. Now it's in the special mode where the 2 lights are blinking. And that means now I can set a color. And basically I have a selection of colors that I can use. So let's say I wanted to change this yellow track from yellow to purple, dark purple. Okay, so I'll select dark purple as my color. Then I'll hit the yellow track here, and I'll even change the channel. And that's a way I can change them, change the color of the track, of the pattern and the channel using this. Now this last button here remembers the previous color. So it was yellow, and you can see it's yellow here. So I can hit yellow. It's showing me by the first button what color I've selected, and now I can change these back to yellow. And yeah, so it's got a color picker in it. And if I hit again, it cycles back to the first layout, macro grid layout that you had seen previously. Okay, so let's talk about the playlist mode next. So what I've done is I've clicked on this. By the way, these will follow your mouse. So if I click on Mixer with the mouse, I'm right here, I'm clicking on Mixer, you can see this changed here to the mixer. I'm going to go using my mouse back to the playlist, and you can see it's moved back to the playlist. So this will follow you even if you use your keyboard or your mouse. On the playlist, if you look, let me use the mouse again, right here, these are your playlist tracks, right? So we have green, blue, purple, yellow, and red. And if you look here, green, blue, purple, yellow, and red. So if you click on these, it will select them. Now you notice they stay kind of lit up because it's actually selecting them, like you can select multiple ones. If you click the button underneath, it will mute them or unmute them as needed. Additionally, down here, these two rows, these are your progress or your song length. Okay, so if I hit play right now, you'll see this will start to move across as the track plays. And then you can also use this to jump around to positions in your song. If you look at the playlist, you'll see as I click in this progress area, it also shows. So if I go to the beginning, I go towards the end, I can go somewhere towards the middle by clicking here. And this will also work while it's playing. Right? If you have a portion selected, like I'm going to use the mouse to select just that portion there, and it didn't update here until you hit play, but when I hit play, now what you can see is that it's shortened the play to be the size of the selection. Let me clear that and hit play, and I'm back to the full thing. Now, if your song is so long that it doesn't fit in these 24 buttons, it will start to make each one worth 2 bars. Like right now, they're all worth 1 bar. But as the song gets longer, then these might each be 2 bars long, or 3 bars or 4 bars, depending on how long your song is. And it's just meant for quick navigation. That's really all it's meant for, and to show you a progress. Okay, that's really it. Speaking about progress, I want you to also notice down this area here, you get a beat count. You see these green. It's a visual beat count. Yeah, so that's that. If you hit Alt and one of these progress bars, it puts a marker in there for you. So now you can see up here, I've got a marker. If I hit it again, it removes the marker. So in theory, you could put a marker, well, actually, let's put a marker there and a marker there. And now I have a green indicator showing me there's a marker there. If I hit shift in that green indicator, it selects from the marker to the end of the marker. So by using this again, I can navigate and not have to use my mouse or my keyboard. I'm going to hold down shift and hit that again. It cleared the marker, cleared the selection rather, but the marker remains. Let me go ahead and remove those two markers. I think I showed you this will mute. Yeah, I did. Okay. And that's your playlist functionality. Let's go to your mixer. Now, if you look at the mixer, I'm going to show you using the mouse here. Let me just scroll over. I think I moved my master out of the way here. There it is. Okay, so you have your master channel, which in this case is just gray. Then my kick, clap, hat, and snare, which are various shades of blue. Then I've got green, purple, yellow, and red again. And you can see as I'm clicking through, this represents my mixer channels. So again, I can click using the mouse and it follows me. I could also just click using this to get to them. Similar to the channels, when you have a mixer selected, you can use your volume to control the volume of the selected mixer channel, your pan. Additionally, these two buttons will give you some functionality for the built-in EQ. If you hold down shift, well, let's say I raise that middle and I hold down shift, now I can control the left and right of it. Let me just set it back though. Yeah, and then you can also mute your mixer channels in the same manner by clicking the button below the channel to mute it. When you do mute, if you shift mute, it does a solo. And then shift mute unsolos it. So you also can do that. Within each mixer channel, you might have effects, right? So like if I go to the master and we look on the FL Studio, I have a fruity limiter right over here. It's the last one in my list of 10, my 10 slots there, right? It's the last one. And if you look at these two rows, so I've selected master and the last one is lit up, which means that there is an effect there, okay? And if I click that, it will bring up that effect. It turns red to let me know that the effect is open, and I click it again and it will close the effect. If I hit the mute button, it will mute the effect and unmute the effect as well. And that's basically my mixer. You can also scroll through using the select button if that's what you want to do. Now, one thing I neglected to show you is what happens if you have more than 12 patterns or more than 12 channels, right? Let's go back to the channel rack mode. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of clones, okay? Just to add patterns to it. So I'm going to hold down Alt, and then I'm just going to keep cloning till I have enough. So you can see I have 12 clones. Now what happened to my other patterns? Well, they're still there. You can use the two round buttons to channel up and page up and page down. So if I hit page down, now I can see my next 12. If I hit up, I can see my first 12. You see what I'm saying? So it works the same for the two round buttons for the channels. So as your channels grow and you have more than 12, the other thing you could do, like I said, is you can turn off the grid, and the grid will then fill in as many as it can, another 4 in this case. So let me go back, but there you go. So you can channel and navigate the same way. Now one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit undo, because I really didn't want that many clones. I'm going to go back to how it was, and then we have it there. So that's just this first mode, okay? This pattern, what I call pattern mode, but it's this first button. I'm not going to talk about the other ones in this video, but just to let you know, there's a note mode, there's a drum mode, and I don't have an FPC in here, otherwise it would have switched to it, and there's a performance mode, which is used for performance, this is not a performance project, so you don't see it. But I do have some other videos on the note mode and the drum mode if you want to go check those out. They may be a little bit outdated, but I'll make updated ones in the future. But I just wanted to give you the quick rundown of some of the features that are available just from this first mode, which is where I use it most of the time. If you wanted to go back to step sequencing, because I do actually have a pattern here with some steps in it that's using steps, it's easy. All you would have to do is bring up your MIDI settings. Let me scroll this over so you can see it, and highlight your fire, go to the type, and you can select the original script if you want. And so now you can see I'm in my step sequencer mode, where I can use it like step sequencing again. Right? And then to go back, you just highlight it, click on this down arrow, and select the one you wanted to use. Now in this case, it's refreshing. So there we go. Now I don't want you to think everything's perfect with this. There are some minor issues here and there. This is still considered beta, and really what I'd like is just to get more people using it to help me to iron out some of these things, because I know I can't necessarily find all the bugs myself, you know what I mean? So if you're interested in using it, check the description of this video and you'll find the link to it with some instruction on how to install it. And let me know what you think. If you're a AKAI Fire user, this could breathe some new life into your AKAI Fire if you're not using it a lot. I know it has for me, and I hope it will for you as well. If you found this video useful, please like. If you want to see and be notified of more videos with anything I do, including the AKAI Fire or tutorials or whatever, please subscribe. And I guess that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one.